Sagittarius, hello, and welcome to your reading for the week of June 16th through the 22nd. So we have the summer solstice this week, and on Sunday the sun will be at 25 degrees Gemini, and that is in your 7th house. So I feel like you're going to have some very magical relationships coming together for you in ways that really, they light your fire. They make you feel seen, heard, adored, and that's going to be something that moves your story along. Lehua. So let's see. So at the start of this day, Saturn and the moon in Libra. Let's see. They're quincunxing. So I feel like our thoughts about what we've experienced in this life, how we were nurtured as a kid, and what our social standing can be is coming into a detached perspective, which is very empowering. It's going to allow for us to see the growth in our personality, the growth that we've had since that full moon in your sign on May 23rd. I want to read Lehua from the Mana deck. So I do also feel that you're going to be initiated into your psychic and spiritual power this week, more so than you've ever felt in your life. The sun is shifting into Cancer, which is your 8th house, and it's going to be activating a lot of your superpowers that you were told was only in storybooks and movies. But Sagittarius, I have good feelings about this week for you. So we have the moon moving into Scorpio. This might be the start of the psychic insights picking up. Ace of Fire. This is so you. An exciting new opportunity, change your life now, career advancement. So there is like some hidden information that feels like you're gaining perspective on not needing to know. Like you're cool with not needing to know anything that is outside of your immediate ability to handle right now. And I feel like that's very wise. The courage of your love. So it's almost speaking about going back into time, reclaiming fragments of your soul that you compromised to be like. You compromised for a job. You wore that uniform even though you despise uniforms. And it's something to where it's like, okay, if we let go of this collateral damage, if we stop judging how we had to live to survive, we can thrive. And we have Uranus having moved to 25 degrees Taurus and Mars at 6 degrees Taurus, activating your 6th house of daily tasks and duties. I love that the Ace of Fire is at 6 degrees on this day, and both are at 2 seconds, so your feelings are going to be encouraging you to take motivated actions to move your story forward this week. Tuesday, Mars Day. Mars is still going to be at 6 degrees Taurus. Let's see what that is. A pink diamond. The heart feels everything. It burns with a fever. Inside the burning, something marvelous is forming. Grace permits the realization of the heart's desires. You become a vessel to demonstrate, to share the beauty, the love, and the light. Yet all of this is implicit, is inherent, is inward. It is not seen by outer eyes. You are warming through slowly, contemplatively, those qualities of soul that are best entered upon, free from reflection. The inner life is rich beyond measure with seeds which will be fertilized and are given forth in the fullness of time, with a consummate touch of having been through the fire to attain what's true and lasting. Wow. I just suggested On Love by Kahlil Gibran for Cancer. And if you have a Cancer placement, or if you are a Cancer sun and this is your rising reading, that's actually what it's read for, you will come to see how you can continue to nurture these parts of you that are emerging that you're really excited about. The moon is opposing Mars at 6 degrees, so we might have difficulty receiving, where's the moon? Receiving these intuitive insights because we've been told that they were wrong. We've been made to feel afraid of having intuitive dreams or even like nightmares. Mars is squaring Pluto, so it's asking for us to grow up, to accept that what was taught to us came from a place of indoctrination, disempowerment. And when we look at the fruits of labor of those people who did, informed us in these ways, informed our conscious and psyche in these ways, we have to ask ourselves, do we want to be like them? Is that something that we're going for in this life? Because if it's not, then you could just flush it down the toilet. It was never sacred. It was just showing you what you had to exceed, what you had to go beyond. Yeah, and with Black Moon Lilith in your 10th house, it's encouraging you to look past your fears. I want to see if she's making any aspects on this day. Many. Squaring the sun, so you're going to have to love and trust that your heart is opening up to the right intuitive insights at this time. You're going to have to really believe that you could speak up for yourself, and it's going to make an impact and a difference in a way that benefits you and others. Yeah, because Mercury's entered your 8th house, so your superpowers. She's squaring Venus at 2 degrees, so that's going to bring up your feelings of value, of consciousness, of confidence in the gifts that you have, and make you feel very, I almost wanted to say lusty, but like desiring of more of these gifts for them to expand, and you almost want to fall in love with the gifts. So Linda Goodman, Love Signs, is it was my first astrology teacher, written in an attic by an astrologer, and I read it in an attic of a home. She actually said she wrote it in an attic of a haunted house, and I read it in an attic of a haunted house, just as I was coming into my light, coming into my awareness. Lilith is trining Uranus, so yeah, you're getting free with it. You're allowing for yourself to believe that this is the right motive for you. We're not doing any work against people. We're not working in the dark and the shadows. We are coming from the heart, and that's where our strength is. Lilith is opposing Neptune, so I would even say that our fears could make us feel like, akin to a past life, akin to a previous suffering in this life, and we're having to understand the truth and not get too carried away with fears that would hold us back at this time. And then, of course, she's trining Pluto, giving more energy to the feelings that we have, that we would like to cultivate and maintain around this energy that we have for what's crescere is growth in Italian, for what's growing within us. Wednesday, Mercury day. Yeah, I feel like you are definitely breaking down to break through. Mercury is at 4 degrees Cancer in your 8th house, so it's like you are now willing to start working as a healer, as a channel, as an intuitive, and you're coming to find that there are very easy places for you to put your little 2 cents in. Right now it's small, it's a pinnacle, but it's something that is going to grow over time, just like that pink diamond. And I say it's small now because Pluto is just at 1 degree, so it's really asking us to have faith for what we can do and what can come from this small seed. 9 of Fire. So you gotta be willing to go against what you were taught and be in your truth. And I feel that on Jupiter Day, you're gonna have this magnanimous forward movement, this provocation of, hey, I know what I know. I know who I am. That cannot be taken away from me. The moon will enter your sign, and this is going to make you more vulnerable in the social space, in the space of the public. Yeah, in your 11th house, your social standing, you really are coming into an integrity of what you're not. You're not being wishful anymore. You're not hoping people will see you as you are. You are coming out and being like, hey, this is who I am. The sun is at 29 degrees Gemini, and it's like this very dense alignment there. And it feels like, you are definitely having to be you. You're having to honor where people don't understand you, and they never will. And people who get you have always seen you, even through the times where you were not yourself. But they have seen you, and you deserve those people. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be witnessed in this thing called life. And then we have Uranus at 25 degrees, Jupiter at 5 degrees. So it's like, I think you're not going to have any confirmation bias, but you're going to have people who are like, yeah, that's right. I love what you're doing. Please do more of it. Please open up and share more of yourself. All of you is wanted here. Beautiful. Yeah, the courage of your love. I feel like that actually needs some attention. 38. Reclaiming these soul fragments. That's a big task. So say aloud, I call on Rumi, lion of love, and my own wise higher self. I now choose to assert the dignity of my soul and the power of my heart. I release all lesser bonds based in fear and deception. I no longer need to hold on to these. I am ready for truth, and with unconditional love, I am supported, protected, and guided on my path to victory, held in guardianship by the unending power of love. I almost wanted to say, held in guardianship by the unending power of she, so be it. It's like your divine feminine, your creative urge and expression is on this day of the summer solstice that's coming out, and you were loud and proud about it. And I wanted to share this. Like, I almost didn't want to do your reading. I was like, I'm so tired. I've been calling back so many parts of my soul and doing amazing things that I was like, let me just go downstairs and get some ice cream and watch a movie. Definitely reward yourself for your hard work. Your familial relations are coming into a sense of like rupture, ease, but we understand the relationships that are really hard on us. Yeah. Neptune at 29 degrees and Saturn at 19 is asking you to be in integrity with how you feel about taking action in the outer world based on what you were told as a kid and that you were raised to believe that you can even manifest and achieve. And just know that you have to move the needle forward for yourself, not for anyone else, Sagittarius. Venus day, at the start of the day, the moon is at 22 degrees. So that, what Sensei Christopher Witecki speaks to, it's like feelings bouncing off of feelings. And if you aren't protecting your feelings, you can get caught up in other people's story and lead into some like uncomfortable breakdowns. Like I just got a little bit of tension in the shoulder, and it could be like you're slouching so much, or like you're hunched over something because you can't figure it out. Like there's a card in the Rumi deck called One, or the Unifying Light. Ooh, we got Sacred Union. So it's like maybe you've been like calling in the Sacred Union, and part of you feels like, oh, I had such a tough upbringing, and I don't know if I'll be likable when I'm myself. But I would say that the sun at 0 degrees Cancer on this day can actually really powerfully bring in this energy that you can live in, to where when your significant other is with you, you are in a sacred union, and you will know it because you'll feel it. Let's see what Rumi has to say. 19, yeah, that's speaking to Saturn too, because it's a 19, and it's saying that feel good, set yourself up to feel amazing on Friday, and you might even love attract someone like over the weekend that you'll see over time, for sure. If you nurture it and you treat yourself right, you're not sacrificing to make things work, you will see relationships gain a foothold. And then, you know, if you're scaling a mountain, you're going to see, oh, I can take refuge here. This person's a safe space. And when you know the difference between what was not a safe space for you and what is, you won't make time for things that aren't valuable anymore, Sag. Sacred union. Only the oneness of love and the lover is eternal. Surrender your heart into this union, for all else in the world is momentary. Stupefied with bliss, I become without thought. How awesome. There is no grief in that loss. I gladly surrender my intelligence in favor of this mindlessness. It's ecstasy, rapture. So you won't even need a reason for it. It'll just be like in your face, boom, romantic, singing in the streets, dancing in the streets. Yeah, this is the like door of fragrance in Chinese medicine. Maybe it's because you're taking on a new aroma. Like there's a new you that is moving into the world with now the sun and Venus and Mercury in your 8th house, allowing for more of your soul gifts to come to the fore, and allowing for you to say, okay, well, I had all these fears around my beliefs, but now I have to start being them. I have to start living my beliefs, because there is a call for me to increase the amount that I give in a day, but of myself, not for a job. Or, you know, Christoph Minopontero spoke to like doing things that go beyond your like pay. You're not being compensated for them, and like there's always more being asked of you. So you have to look at that, dissolve the other, and see within yourself, where are you always coming up short within yourself? Even if it's something to where it's like, you said that you would just go to the bodega for like a bag of chips, but then you end up buying like toilet paper for your roommate, you end up buying like gum and things you don't need, and just like frivolously spending money. I've heard that actually whenever Sagittarius is upset and they're not taking the trips they need to take, they end up spending almost the same amount of money on just junk because they want to go and expand their horizons and see a new part of the world. And a lot of people now, they're opening up retreats, so you won't have to travel alone. You could travel with a crew of people who are aligned to a similar outcome as whatever it is that you're seeking. Just do your research on Instagram. Find people who you want to step into, maybe something that's taboo, like pole dance. There's one pole artist who she's hosting a retreat in Tulum, October 4th through the 8th. She has big red hair. What's her name? It's escaping me at the moment. But if you just like find retreats that you would want to be a part of, just know that you have a new group coming in for you, Sag. You have a new crew of friends who will just encourage you to be yourself, and that's a success. Even me, I'm like teaching at a retreat this weekend, and it hadn't even been in my plans. It's just something that opened up for me because I was open to receiving the insights. I was open to accepting the invitation when my ego wanted to say, nah, don't even bother with this. Like, this isn't for you. I knew it wasn't true. So you have to find the seed that you have to pull out so that your other seed that you want to grow can grow. Because there's definitely like a couple things that you have to weed out of your consciousness. But when you choose and you decide and you affirm that you're ready to do that with Mercury in your 8th house, it's going to be gone for good, Sag. Saturn day. Woo. Saturn in Pisces in your 4th house. I think that this will be breaking you free of these outdated mindsets about what's possible for you to manifest, who you are becoming, what you can get out of life, what you can give out of life. Like, I think that from the start of the week to the end of the week, your eyes are going to be open to something that you were overlooking. Maybe you were overlooked in an area, and then you come to find like, oh, there's a whole crew of people like who've been needing my expertise, and only I can offer it in this way. That feels really encouraging. Chiron at 23 degrees on Saturn day. In your 5th house, it moves you into a place where you think, because you're feeling and you're believing that you're worthy of this new connection, these new connections, this dance with your beloved, like this journey. Maybe you're taking a trip with your lover, and it's something that, like, you know, you had no expectation. King of Earth, yes. So yeah, it's going to be something that really brings you a lot of joy, brings you levity in places where you had been doubting. You had been like scapegoating yourself and like throwing yourself under the bus and freaking like breaking down into tears time and time again because you were like, why is this happening? And it starts with us. We have to uproot anything that's growing in our garden that we don't want. Sag, I hope this reading hits for you. Let me know in the comments, because this was like, I didn't want to do it, and then it just like clicked into gear. So that could be something for you. I would say even like step into some Qigong, because that shoulder, you know, behind my heart, it was very specific. I believe for even Venus Day, where this love can come in, and you're so convinced otherwise that you can even like block them out if you want. Because this is a transit in your 8th house, and it's a superpower that can be like working against you until you learn how to use your heart to guide you. So I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you so much to my subscribers who hang out with me, check out my readings, and leave me comments. Thanks to you all watching. Please purchase my Book of Fortune. It's a guide for a 28-day cycle to get you on to your path. If this is calling to you, just know you could buy it for $9. And the work that I'm doing with my daily astrology, along with these weekly reads, will actually be a tool for you to use. Thank you all so much, and I will see you in our next reading. Aloha.